I shall assume you already know NCSoft War, Death, Famine, Pestilence and other disasters. And if you've been playing any game with some ties to NCSoft, you were probably at some point informed, consensually or not, that OG Aion kind of shut the bed financially in those last few years, and Big Daddy NCSoft is looking with them hungry eyes at new ways of monetizing the IP. You, Aion 2. NCSoft new idea on how to unite the crowd previously sharing only male pattern baldness and erectile dysfunction under one banner of NCSoft's monetization willing victims. Like it worked in the past with Throne and Liberty or Blade and Soul Neo. Aion 2 is set up to ice skate uphill, because it is an NCSoft game, Unreal Engine 5 game, and a Korean MMO all at once, all three of which are currently infamous in Western market. NCSoft is known for consumer hostile mobile and borderline mobile experiences, UE5 is known for shit performance, and Korean MMOs are known for pay to win and free user experience being sabotaged. To succeed, Aion 2 will have to defeat the infamy of all those three categories. A truly dastardly combination, you'd say unrecoverable. But then you look at the biggest MMO on the market like World of Warcraft and you see one button rotation being pushed through, aka mobile experience, and paid sub, and WoW token, in combination with paid expansions and bullshit cash shop with crap like $90 mount that gives you remote access to Action House. So if you think about it, only bad thing that Aion 2 may have that WoW doesn't is potentially bad performance. Moreover, we have a fairly recent show of NCSoft's work in Throne and Liberty. Throne did wrong everything that could possibly be done wrong. They planned AFK auto-grinding before they got verbally abused by everyone on the internet and rework combat 2 months before release. They made it so you can parry mobs and bosses, but made CC and damage nukes in PvP lightning fast so they can't be parried by a normal player without cheats installed. They made the game classless with the you are what you wear progression through gear and weapon mastery, and then made everything you have equipped still take up inventory space, so you need inventory expansions for just the shit you wear if you have 3 separate gear sets. The netcode was shit, the MSQ was garbage, and instead of giving people gliders or mounts, they made this transformation system, which at least to my experience, was buggy as all shit. And to add insult to injury, they tied your DPS to a currency you would spend on every attack to deal more damage, and tied your sustain to another currency, which you spend over time to regenerate, both of which worked in PvP, and both of which could be acquired from cash shop. Throne was the worst of the worst that we can still somehow call a game. And that somehow not only didn't die, but it also maintains bigger Steam numbers than New World does. And now we can enter the mild coping part of the video, as there is one positive thing about Aion 2 that we can say with utmost certainty. It will be incomparably better than Throne and Liberty in pretty much every possible aspect. NCSoft is indeed retarded, but they are not as retarded as to repeat the same mistakes over and over again with no iteration or improvement on their systems and ideas. Throne and BNS Neo were their testing grounds, where they fucked around to see what happens and where they could find out with relatively low consequences of blowing everything up to shits. And Aion 2 already adapts to respective backlashes from both games. Throne's ass got eaten for auto combat, and so NC made it extremely sure to underline that Aion 2 will have none of that shit, and it is purpose-built for PC, and they only make mobile port because Eastern market wants an option to tend to their in-game garden while they are bored to shit stuck on a 16-hour shifts in Chinese trash factory or in public transit. And if you look at what they show in their streams, the combat looks very promising. The bosses have actual mechanics, you have to actually dodge AoEs and shit, and if you fuck up, you die. This looks like it has a chance to be second best MMO combat after Black Desert, and only thing which could ruin it is pay to win. And fortunately, there was a shit ton of complaints about pay to win in NC's previous games, especially in BNS Neo where that pretty much killed the game. So they already announced they are scaling pay to win down in Aion 2, to the point of there supposedly being none at launch, and instead they will focus on monetization through cosmetics. Sure, they are Koreans, so their opinion of what's pay to win might be different than ours, especially considering there's confirmed battle pass with 2 premium tiers, so there not being any pay to win is to be taken with a grain of salt. A grain, not a whole bloody bucket, like people jumping to the conclusion that the 2 tiers will be sold separately for $35 total, and not that the higher tier will include the lower tier by default, like every battle pass in the industry does. NC are not trying to speedrun a PR disaster nor death of the game. Hold your horses with the dooming a little. Also, immediately assuming that a player will be completely irrelevant if they don't chill out is a stretch, to put it lightly. And that's because it would mean that NCSoft learned nothing from BNS and nothing from Throne. And we already saw with combat and with how they address everything Aion 2 related that they did in fact learned something. And the main question on the back of which relies the success of this game is how much did they learn, and whether they can wrangle UE5 to their will in terms of optimization. And here is the problem. Issues that made TNL unfun were hidden too deep in the game's systems to be visible before launch. And none of the big content creators with top-shelf hardware is going to tell you how the game runs on whatever unchristian amalgam of refrigerator and a toaster you use to run your games. We will not be able to look at Aion 2 and discern with reasonable enough accuracy whether it is good or garbage from just the promotional materials, streams, trailers, and coping or dooming. We need to get the game in our hands first. Because yes, combat might look good, but it may feel junky as fuck. Yes, the game is in UE5, but so is Satisfactory, and that runs well. On top of which, NCSoft with all their sins at least fucking knows how to optimize their games most of the time. Also, yes, the monetization is confirmed to be present. But until we get to know how free-to-play players are being treated, we can't really bitch and moan about monetization, because it might be generous enough to be fun and fair for free-to-play Andes as well. And all of it depends on minutiae and details, like resource cost, resource drop, which we cannot discern until we play the game for ourselves. So there is no point in dooming, and no point in coping as well. But there is a point in waiting. Because on November 19th, Korean and Taiwanese servers go online, and we can use internet magic to commit some 300 ping gaming and get the necessary information to discern whether the game will be good or will it be garbage. So have some patience and let's all wait till November. I will personally commit 300 ping gaming because everything NCSoft is my blessing and my curse, and I will bring you the tidings, and whether the game will be good or bad, it will still be good content. Because talking shit is as fun as celebrating. And so before we conclude, a big sign of gratitude to all the generous supporters continues considering my dubious quality content worth their money. You're all truly welcome. Crabface out.